Just going to set up. We're live on Facebook,
Yep.
and we're going to just set it up. It's early morning for me, and
And
it's night for Ludimila.
yeah, it's past 6:45.
It's actually 8 a.m. It's not early morning anymore.
You are in the future already, because for me it's still Sunday.
No, I know I'm in future for you. So, welcome. I'm not stopping. You know that when I start, I don't stop. I decided this week all 10 moms, 100 interviews will be done by 3rd of February. That date has decided, and now yesterday I was 2 interviews, today I have one, tomorrow I have three, and 92nd mom. So by tomorrow we should be 95 moms. The countdown has begun. 92 moms, and what's happening is uh, the additions of the last 10 is just unbelievable. So Ludimila, welcome to the book, and Debbie is here. Welcome to the book, and I'm so honored to have you here, and you are the final 10 countdown moms. So my excitement level is on another level. I just couldn't sleep last night when I knew I've done 91 moms, and the whole night I was just up and tossing and turning and tossing and turning. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen when I do the 100th mom. And it's just this thing. So welcome to the book. I know we had a very beautiful conversation just before we started. Please introduce yourself. As every time I say, the moms who live their story tell their story the best, because everything comes from their mouth, from feeling point of view and how they've lived it. So please go introduce yourself and your journey, and then we'll talk about you being a mom, you being around self-portraits, what's this book about, and we'll move forward.
Okay, 100%. First of all, I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity. I 100% believe on everything that you're doing. I'm so honored to be here. And as I mentioned to you before in our conversation, your book came to me a while back, and was a time in my life where I was busy, still finding myself and going through things. And when Debbie brought it back and this opportunity came back, I was like, oh my God, it's so time and I'm so ready. And it's just, I'm so happy how this all came together, because I loved your project since the day one when I heard of it. So
Debbie's
congratulations.
already there. Debbie's in the chat, so we must thank her for bringing you here. And also now it's our project. You're part of the 100 Moms. We are doing it together. So it's no more my project. It's our project together. Moving forward, we 100 will move forward to bring this whole thing to consciousness that mothers are important. And so now it's going to be our project. So I'm just correcting you that you're already part of it. If you've not felt it yet, you're already one of us. So it's our project and we're going ahead with it.
Awesome.
And 100 other moms. So go ahead.
I feel it. I feel it. I'm in. I'm very excited about it. No, it's it's something that I truly believe, as I was saying earlier. If we moms step back on who we are, step back in our beautiful power and let it go of shame, guilt, blame, and truly believe on everything that we bring to the table as a mom and as a woman, so many things can change, as you're saying, and we'll bring this beautiful energy to our kids, to our spouses, to the grandparents that are in there, touching the co-workers and everything around us. If you're happy, if we're good and grounded with who we are, even when we have bad days, we all have good and bad days, but we snap back, you come back, and then we keep on moving forward. So it's unbelievable. It's such an unbelievable energy to keep on moving
I
forward.
would like to know more about you now, Ludimila. Who's Ludimila? What's her name?
Well, we're talking about kids. Now come down. Let us see your face. There you go.
Hi, here. Oh, that's just a nice picture.
That's my boy that just go home. Okay, you. I just need to finish here.
Can I order McDonald's?
Lucas, go. I'm in the middle.
Can I order McDonald's?
Lucas, no. No.
That's okay, my kids come in. They're going to come in because they're going to wake up.
Yes.
They're just going to wake up, both of them, and they're going to come in. So that's okay. That's part of it.
Oh, sorry. See, this is real life. this is mom life. Like we're here, we're doing an interview, and the kid walk in, Mom, can I order McDonald's? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of the interview.
Yeah, all sorts of things happen. So let's anyway celebrate you, because one day these kids are going to see you in the book, Ludimila. Your child, our kids, all the 100 moms. There's going to be a, I still feel that one day there'll be a bell ringing and there'll be a post with the book, most likely on your doorstep with these 100 stories in it. And they're going to open it and they're going to say, my mom is honored in this book for being a mom. And that's the time it's going to all start for these 100 families. So let's go ahead. Let's go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm very excited. So a little bit Lucas, can you please no.
Okay, I'll bring you.
No, close the door.
Love you.
That's okay. That's okay. It'll happen.
Yeah, I gotta love you.
Yeah, that's okay. Just don't worry. Just go ahead.
Okay, so just a little bit about myself. I was born in Brazil. Came to Canada when I was 23, going 24 years old. I was looking for a change in my life. So I had a beautiful life in Brazil. Things happened and it was time to change. Came to Canada to learn English, to stay for 6 months. I had like no English, even though I had university degree back home and college degree, I had no English. And then I came here, my godparents are here, and I just decided to give me, sorry, 1 second.
That's okay. All of us are in the same boat, Ludimila. So it's good that you settle him first, and it would be not disturbing if you settle. That's what I do. When
Done.
like in the middle of one of my workshops, I had to get up and clear up the back because my younger one decided to leave his dinosaurs right behind me, and there were almost 70 of them, and he wanted to just collect them at that point. So I said, okay, fine, I leave, I collect, I help you, and I put you out. So I did that because he
Yeah,
could keep coming back for his dinosaurs because they were in this room. So
exactly.
it's all part of it. It's all part of it. So hi Francis, good evening. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so going back, I ended up deciding to stay in Canada. So I learned the English, I got my work permit, and I made a beautiful life. I have been in Canada now for 19 years. And I also always focus on my career. I have a university degree in marketing and business, a college degree in industrial design, and I love life. I like to say that I am a cheerleader for humanity, like with all the cells in my body.
Right.
I love life. I love all the beautiful things in nature. So life went, and I met my husband, and we got married at the beach in Brazil, and we kept on moving forward. To the point that I got pregnant, and my beautiful son that you guys just met came along. But before Lucas was born, I was like, no, he's gonna be on my schedule. 3 months, I'm gonna be back at work, because that was my life. Before coming to Canada, I had my own skydiving school. So I had my own business. I was very successful. I used to sell life insurance before I became a partner in a skydiving school. So I had a really career-oriented life, and I accomplished a lot in my life at a young age. But then when Lucas was born, and I look at him and I'm like, I can't leave him alone, because it was just my husband and I. My whole family was in Brazil. My husband's family were not here. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can leave my son alone. So I made the choice to stay home. So my husband and I came together, and he's like, no, you stay home, you raise Lucas, and we'll figure things out, right? And through ups and downs, and I was very happy as a mom. I worked really hard to the point that I was living in the street I wanted to live. My son had all like his 7 friends on the street. Every Sunday morning, the boys would come over for breakfast pancakes, and I loved it. I would walk Lucas to school. But inside of me, something was asking for more. I was really happy as a mom, but something was asking for more. Like the entrepreneur, the businesswoman inside of me was like, you got to do something more. And that is when I think my negative self-talk started. Because growing up, I had a good upbringing in a sense that my parents were behind me and they're like, you can do anything you want. Like I was a lucky to have a good upbringing. So growing up wasn't a lot of negative self-talk. But when I became a mom and then the businesswoman wanted to come out again, that was when everything started to come out. And I didn't realize it was a negative self-talk until I did a course with a dear friend of mine, Dr. Valerie Baker. And I saw a lot of women talking about shame and guilt and blame. And I didn't see that in myself at that time. But then I started paying attention and I'm like, why am I not, that the thoughts in my mind was like, I've done so much in my life. What's wrong with me that I'm not doing it now? Why can't I move forward on the business I want, on the things I want? And my son was around like 5 or 6. And then I realized all the negative talk and all the things that come to us as a mom. Like I was afraid if I was successful, I was afraid of success. If I was successful, I wouldn't have enough time to be a good mom or a good wife. I grew up with my mom being a stay-at-home mom and my dad was a high-end executive. So that was my example, was my whole blueprint. So it was so hard for me to try to know that we can have both. Is exactly what you're doing in the project, that you can have sleepless nights, but you can still have a beautiful life. I couldn't see this for the longest time. I was like, no, I can't. I don't want to miss any precious moments from my son. I want to be there for him. I want to take him to school, take him to sports. And I did. But as he is getting older, he doesn't need me as much. And life is changing. So through all the work and self-development and working with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and other beautiful trainers, I'm getting to that point where I already got to that point. Like life is changing. Life is now. Is like be, do, and have. Like I step back into my beautiful power. And that is where my story with the sports ties up. A few years back, the same. I was happy being a mom. My husband was working. Financially wasn't the ideal situation because it was just one income, but it's okay. I made peace with it and we made things work. Happy being a mom, but bored out of my mind without having a challenge. Like I knew I had something else inside me that I wanted to contribute, or a challenge, like coming from jumping off airplanes. But you don't need to jump off airplanes. You can do whatever you want. But I was missing that passion, that adrenaline, that thing back. And I saw on a newspaper ad, Nike was looking for runners for a run study here in Vancouver, Nike and the University of British Columbia. And my husband used to be a track and field runner. And he wasn't exercising for a while. And I saw the ad and I'm like, oh, that's nice. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to give it to Martin. Maybe he will get excited to start running again. And 2 or 3 days went by and I'm like, why just Martin? Why can't I be part of the run study? And then the negative self-talk. Oh, but you're an athlete, but you never really run. You're a ballet dancer. You do this and you do that, you volleyball, but run is boring. And I'm like, I was already into the self-development process. So I'm like, no brain, you just be quiet right now. I'm like, yes, I can do it. So I ended up signing up, didn't even tell my husband. I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it too. So I said yes to the opportunity. I said yes to the challenge. A lot of times we're afraid to say yes to the challenge. And the challenge is where we grow, is where things happen that we get better. So I ended up, and it says like, oh, you need to be able to run 10 kilometers before you part in the study? And I said, yes, I can run 10 kilometers, no problem. And I said, you know what, let's do it. So I got accepted in the challenge. And then I, I, um, I started practicing to be ready for when the challenge started. So for me, it was such a big leap because the challenge gave me a 13-week schedule. So I had a structured time, and I had people that needed me, to run, to give my data, my survey, my information. So I started practicing, and the run study started, and I did all the runs. And that is to practice for a half marathon. And I was 42 at the time. So, and that's another thing, is to show women that doesn't matter the age, you can always start something new, you can always change. And this is what I did. So going through the whole like grueling process of running, but it was so beautiful because I felt so good. I'm like, oh my God, I'm accomplishing something that's harder. Like that brought me back to life in the parts that I was missing. And then I did run the half marathon. I can't start to explain how I felt when I crossed that finish line. Being able to go through the whole process and cross the finish line and say, I did it. I think I feel like it's people when the same for me, when you go skydiving for the first time, when you do something for the first time that is enormous, is that something really huge that you do, and you land and you're like, oh my God, if I can do this, I can do anything else in my life. So that is, I can't even start to explain. So I want more women to say yes to the opportunity, say yes to the challenge. Don't be afraid to really step back into their power, because with that in this story, I have been able to inspire so many people to do different things, to try different things, and things that they might think is hard, but stop their thoughts and say, no, I will say yes, I don't make it work. And I'm so glad that I'll be able to share this
Yeah,
with you here.
and from there, you actually were selected by Nike for representing them in their study, and I'm just letting you know because you forgot the most important part, that that's how you went ahead, and Nike was Nike was these 13 people were selected out of the whole study, and you were one of them,
Yes,
and
yes,
you run
and
and
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for reminding me that. And that is what that's what happened. My son walked in again. That's why I got distracted, but he's back out. Because I said yes to this opportunity. At the end of the marathon, a Nike photographer was there, and they took pictures of all of us. And I thought that that was it. We're gonna have a nice portrait and a nice picture of us just posing for Nike. We finished something really big. And 2 months later, I got the notification that I got picked as one of the 13 athletes to be in the Nike major worldwide launch campaign for the prototypes we're running with. So when they launched that shoes, I was in the headquarters my face was in the headquarters in New York. I had friends from Japan, from Europe. They were sending me pictures. They're like, oh my God, we see your face inside Nike store. And everybody that bought those shoes that came on those beautiful orange boxes, they had a booklet inside. And my face with the other 13 athletes was inside of the booklet.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that
It's,
was an amazing experience, that if I haven't said yes to that newspaper ad, and if I haven't believed that I could, and I was going to make it work no matter what, none of this experience would ever happen.
yeah, yeah. And I think you also mentioned that you were working very closely with mothers and bringing them together in a group. And let's talk a little bit about that, because this project is all about mothers and how you decide, I think, with a friend of yours, am I right? I think you were
Yes,
doing it together and bringing mothers And I liked what I liked about the conversation there was that you said I after the 2 hours I was giving back happy moms to the children. So what was
Uh,
that about? What was that project? We should talk about that as well.
yes. So a few years back, and we are working on bringing that back. I'm so excited about that too, but it is on the pipeline, in the pipeline. Um, Me and a friend of mine, we decided to put an event. It was her idea, was something that was happening in Toronto. She brought to Vancouver, and I'm like, I love it. Let's do it. So we created an event. Was called Ladies in Power. But for me, the most amazing thing was that every month we would have this event and we would bring different speakers. So we had one month a lady talking about self-defense, law of attraction, nutrition, exercise. It was beautiful. But as you mentioned, for me, the most beautiful thing was that at 6 o'clock, when the doors would open, I'll be there welcoming everybody, and they were tired, they were cranky, they work all day, it was raining outside, they were stuck in traffic, or they were home with the kids the whole day, but they gave themselves that 2 hours for that month to be with us. And we had exercises where we work on putting the guard down and let women make friends and be connected and smile and exchange information and hug. Like, it was a beautiful process. And then the speaker would come, and when the speaker was done, we would have another interaction exercise, and then it was time to mingle. But at the end of those 2 hours, they were happy. They had that big smile, they laugh. And in my heart, I was like, and we're not making money with that event. It was like, whatever we charge at the door, we pay for the room, donate the rest to the speaker's charity. We really wanted to help to create that atmosphere. So I knew they were going back home happy. They're going to bring their happiness to their kids, to their house, and they would have a better night.
Yeah, so that's what I resonated with when you said that, Ludimila, that I was with this event, I was giving opportunity for mothers to come together so that they can go back to happy to their kids because so much is happening.
Mhm.
And it's not that so much is not happening with fathers. Like I don't want fathers. I've been raised by a beautiful father, but so much is happening to them as well. But we are tuned a little different. Once you become a mom, there's so much more that comes up as layers and layers, and so much that stops us from doing a lot of things because we feel that we have two more or five more or one more,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
us, and that we keep carrying even them in our energy all the time. Like we are able to
Yes.
detach with that. Even if you're working moms, we are able to detach from the whole thing that children are there. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to do a series with men and find out what do they feel when they go for work. Do they detach themselves from this whole thing? Not that they're not taking responsibility, but men sometimes are wired really differently. And once you become a mother, it's just like they are with you all the time. Like right now, yes, I'm doing an interview, but my kids are with me because I'm like thinking, yeah, I'll just finish the interview and this is the breakfast thing, and then what's going to happen, and they're going to come and talk to me, and I've not spent the morning with them. So all of us mothers are like constantly working with that as well, and you providing a space like that is very important. But more
Yeah.
than that, your statement to be made that do the impossible, like do the impossible. And I, as a mom, yesterday my son was. We have Beata here, and Beata is doing this challenge. She's a behavioral scientist, and she works with children and parents. And she is doing this outdoor challenge these days, and I keep looking at her, and that reminds me I need to call her. But so I decided to run like with my son because he was saying let's play tag, and I did the marathon bit, like the 10 km last 2 years for the first time because I have always been a creative, sitting, thinking, or a photographer. So I
Mm-hmm.
did do the 10 km challenge with myself because I had gone to whole food plant-based diet and I wanted to see whether that works. You can run.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I just couldn't run, and I was just like, here I have a mom coming tomorrow who is, who took the challenge because he told me, that run fast to catch me, and I was trying, but it was an effort for me.
Yeah.
Sleepless nights for last 2 years, and then I was, I kept on telling you I can't run. Why don't you take your dad? He'll be able to do it. But then I caught myself saying that
Yeah.
if you're gonna keep saying that to them as mothers, one, like as sons, and they'll always feel that, moms and mothers and everybody are not, they're not going to be runners,
Strong.
they're not going to be, yeah, physically strong to run.
Yeah.
And that made me feel yesterday because I was about to interview you and I was just thinking, I'm telling him again and again, I can't run. Like, I'm like, sorry, I just can't catch you. Why don't you tell your dad? He'll be able to do a better job of playing this game because he was getting bored. He would be able to catch me in seconds. And I just couldn't beat him, right? And I just couldn't catch him. And he just could catch me in seconds. And I was just, and this is the challenge that Viana started of playing games. And all he wants to do is run.
Yeah.
And there I was, and I was just like, and we have a lot of moms here, and a lot of moms actually message me from India as well. They're watching while cooking and everything. Well,
Uh-huh.
as simple as running is something that we've taken away from us. Like we've taken this away because we just think we can't, or we don't, or we won't be able to. And the practice of every day. So for you to get that challenge, for you to figure that out, that that it's possible to practice and do it. I did a 10 km in practice of 1.5 months, just because I was on this whole food plant based. But
Uh-huh.
by then I had not had my second one. My second child was not there. And now the sleepless nights and COVID and online classes and everything has put another level of so yesterday I realized, thanks to you, thanks to Beata, that running as basic as running. Why are we moms not running? Like just running and running with our children, running with them, and giving them all the time the excuse that we can't run, we can't run. Basic running, catching, holding. It releases, and that's what Beata is telling all the moms and parents to do outdoor games and stuff. But I can't run, and I realized that yesterday. And you did the challenge, and then you practice, and then you're going and representing Nike is an inspiration for many moms that even running for your children should be done.
Yes. It makes such a big difference because I could not run 3K or 2Ks without stopping at that time. Like I have exercised my whole life, but run have never been my thing. I was starting to do like trail running and hiking, but not really street running. Is a different beast, but I proved myself that is not impossible. And is, as you said, a lot of times I feel like my husband was working so much when Lucas was growing up that I did the mom and dad part in a sense of I was the one taking Lucas with his football and went to the park. I didn't let him not play and go and have fun in the park because I maybe couldn't do it. So I take my hat off for you because you were there and you're trying. And all it takes is the first step.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to see it fall in our face and figure out, oh no, okay, let's do it because life is happening for us to learn, for us to get better and improve. So um I I actually was the one playing soccer in the park and playing basketball. So it kept me moving, but he had to take that one step.
Yeah.
Like I could not let him, I couldn't see myself not playing with him on that sense. And is that one step at a time. So it is so important. And I encourage all women out there with little kids, big kids, do what you're doing. Like go play, go outside. And yes, you can. You might need to practice a little bit more or whatever you want to do, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Right? It is possible. And you can see my golden retriever behind me.
I could see that. Yeah, and Francis is also here, and she's in the space of parenting and everything. But the fact is that I am seeing more and more. I'm meeting this all these moms, and more I'm around mothers. I feel that this physical running and everything, our kids will only pick up if both the parents are doing it actively. You know, if they're doing it
Yes.
actively, and I see the results of, and that basically saves you from things like pandemic, saves you from things like being locked down and all the situations that are coming. And I think it's very, very important. So Beata has a great message. You have a great message. I think we will spread that message also. That just like for me to even catch myself to say I can't do it, is if he hears it 30 more times from me that I can't run, your dad can. And Francis is saying because it's considered, societal thing as well that dads can do it. But no, my husband is more in sports. He's into golf. He was a basketball player, and he's always been into sports, right? And I always sat on coffee shops and created my stuff and sit on the table and stuff like that. But when he gets busy and they are with me, I think they can still sit down and do all the creative stuff and everything. But I feel the lack of that. And when COVID hit, I realized that, they even at home, up down, they need to just keep running all the time. And I will have to run because they're very young. Mine are very young. Mine are 2.5 and 8. If they, you've played soccer, you've played everything. So I'm trying to up my game a little as a mom and say, okay, fine, photography done, book done, mother's done, like everything done. But the next thing is going to be you're going to find a
Yeah.
very physically active mom
Yes.
trying and playing and all that, which I've never done. I'm turning
Yeah.
40 myself and I've never done that.
But
Every time I tried, I have a very funny incident I must tell everybody. I was so much into creative thing, and I think my body always told me that I think you're not meant for sports. So I did start squash one time. I was very young. I'm not very young, but yeah, about 18, 19 years, and I started to play squash. Straight away, going to the most strenuous exercise that you could possibly go to. And I decided to
squash
go,
is up.
and there comes my son waking up in the morning. So I think it's his class. Yeah, it's an online class. Good morning. Okay, go back. Go. So I went there, and after a month, my fingers had started to curl, and I just think that was more a brain reacting to the whole thing. So I went to the doctor and I said, physiotherapist, that my fingers in the night just start curling, and they're like, your bones are very soft, and why are you straight away starting squash, and you should not do it. You should go and play chess right now. That's how soft your bones are. So I'm like, I don't even think I can play chess. I don't even have the brains to play chess. So I got an excuse from there on that I can't play squash or I can't play physical because my bones are very soft. And I think I never wanted to play. So I always said, my bones are very soft. My doctor told me that I can't play it, and I never played. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I see because the influence is so much with me as they stay with me. Um, I also feel there's a lot of possibility now for me and for many mothers that are speaking on behalf of
Yes.
many mothers who we are
Yeah.
busy as homemakers sometimes
Yeah.
to expand yourself and even enter in the balance phase so that our children can learn to know that my mom could run and she could fly and she was not saying I can't run, I can't do this, I'm not well. My younger one
Exactly.
said to me, I'm tired, like 2 year old. When he said that I'm tired, I looked at him, I'm like, my God, he's repeating what I just said because I was telling him this 3 days before, I'm tired. And
Yeah.
that woke me up to this whole
Yeah.
thing that I'm tired, I can't do it, I don't want to do it, will all go to them. And I'm passing it on because in COVID, they're spending more time with me indoors last 2 years in India
Yeah.
and they're absorbing everything I'm saying. So,
They absorb, yeah, how we are. And it is also a limiting belief that the subconscious mind decide to accept when the doctor said that you can play.
yeah,
So one of the main rules of leadership is prove yourself wrong
yeah,
in that sense.
yeah,
Like whatever you think you believe that is negative to you is work in a good way. It's not to put a bad energy to it. It's like to prove yourself wrong.
Yeah.
I proved myself wrong when I saw that ad on the newspaper and I said, heck yes, I can run. I can't right now, but I will.
Yeah, I know.
And I did one step in front of the other and I trained for the training. So I was ready.
Francis is here, and yeah, Francis is saying that I'm intimidated by sports as well. So Francis, yeah, prove yourself wrong. Prove yourself wrong, Francis. You know that I'm sitting here, and when I meet Francis, I keep saying, next Francis is going to give us a good news that she's running also. Because she just did a self portrait challenge. She was a superstar of the self portrait challenge with the workshop that I just did, and now Francis is also going to run because I'm going to promise that I'm going to start running or doing something from here on. My problem is I publicly announce everything, then I have to do it. And I will not use the word I'm tired anymore as mom. And I request all the moms to do it, especially in India who are still locked down with 2 years of no school. Kids are with us all the time. And yes, we're exhausted. And
Of
yes,
course
we're
you are.
tired. And
Yeah,
yes, 2 years of this online craziness is just too much.
crazy.
Kids are with
Yeah,
us 24 hours and we are becoming their teachers and everything and their homeworks, and mine are very young and we have a lot of kids, twins and young, and trying to do this online stuff.
yeah,
But we can remove this word from our dictionary, I'm tired. And
exactly.
Ludimila can, she can actually, I don't know how if I pronounce her name correct, but she can actually be the messenger from this book, taking that forward. And no mother should ever say, I'm tired. You know,
No,
yeah,
and I truly believe the more you say, the more you repeat it, the more you attract it.
right, right.
So the
So,
more you say you're tired, the more tired you
though we
be.
are, yeah, though we are, the reality is that we are, but I think we
We
need to beat
are,
that. Yeah, yeah, we need to
exactly. But
beat
it's,
that. Yeah,
and
so,
it's funny, going back to what you're saying about sports too, I feel like a lot of times we as women and moms, we have been trained and always said that we do the arts, we take care of the house. A lot of times in our DNA, a lot of women, they don't do the sports because it's not what women do or is the right thing to do. So that is another, this is why a lot of times the sports for the dads is always like the dads, and the dads would take the kids to sport, and the dads is that. And with me, with Lucas, and I think because I loved sports and I did a lot of, like I said, ballroom dancing and volleyball and stuff growing up. When Lucas was born and he started doing walking, doing sports, I'm like, I want to give him the taste of every sport I could do it. Like, as a Brazilian in Canada, I taught my son to ice skate.
yeah.
Like, we don't even have snow back home, but like, I figured out how to ice skate. I didn't taught him the best ice skating moves out there, but I put him on skates, got him in the ice, and he would ice skate. And I learned to stop and I taught him how to stop. So even if we don't know, if we have the desire, we make the commitment, we can do it. Baseball, never played baseball in my life, but I had a baseball bat and a glove and I would toss it to him and he'll figure it out and bring it back.
Yeah.
So even if we don't know, but if we have the desire, we can do that. And we do not need to leave just to the man. It can be both sides.
Yeah, women
Like,
everywhere. We have sports like I just featured one of the Olympian moms from 1980s just two days back from India, and
yeah,
she had made this record that she had got medals for this country when the sports facility in this country was not even allowing women to do it. Like women everywhere have always proven that they can, but because majority population is of moms and
yeah,
we're working moms and we are homemakers or we are working full
yeah,
time, and then we have immediately after creating stuff for home and working, the next thing is children, and the next thing is sleeping because we can't do both of that. So
no,
that's
you
the
have to,
routine we are
yeah,
stuck in. That's the routine we are stuck in. You create the
yeah,
house, what to do, little bit of a career, your children, and you're done.
yeah.
Especially when the children are very young. And if like I have moms with 5 kids here and 6 kids here, I just don't know like how do they get time to
Neither can I.
we have a mom with 12 kids as well here in our home. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah,
And but they all have been shining, and that's what the book is bringing. That they all shine irrespective. All of us do, and that's why this book is going to become an inspiration. And and Francis said, "Yes, I will prove myself wrong." And
Yes, Francis.
Francis, we will. I will do it with you. I'm going to be. I'll come under your umbrella to prove ourselves wrong, and we're going to do that.
Yes.
We're going to do that. We're going to start running because for our children, for this book, I think we should do that. Run for this book. We should do something. Like, see, this crazy stuff happens to me.
Yeah. Why not?
Crazy stuff happens to me for this interview. And now it's come to me. They're going to be watching it here, and. We like one day I was talking and I said, I know I'm wasting paper for this book, but I make sure that these 100 moms plant trees once this book is out. And now today I'm saying, while talking to you, is that let's run for moms as well. We do
Yes.
something in the coming future. We can collaborate and figure that out. And for this book, we can also get these 100 stories and run for moms or something like that. So that moms
Yeah.
can start running and create
Yeah.
their own thing. We'll do that. We'll do that. And
I would love that.
yeah,
And you can run, walk, do whatever you can, but you're moving, you're moving forward. One of the beautiful things I saw on the leadership training I just finished is that one mom that was there, mom, but doing the leadership training because she wants to go to the next level of her personal life. Her goal, because we all had a goal at the end to accomplish at the end of those 4 months. Her goal was to run 5K. And she was never able to run and she was having health problems. So her goal for her life was to run 5K. She ended up running 2 5Ks.
oh,
And
lovely.
and she got 2 medals. So it's a beautiful story. Like I ended up running a half marathon, but it's not the distance that matters, is to step into your power, believe that you can, and go through the challenge. And yes, prove yourself wrong in a good way. We
Right.
will all have those thoughts here and there. Is how we learn to, I hear you, I see you, thank you for sharing. I'm not going to waste my time with this kind of thought right now. I'm going to focus on what I want, and I'm going to focus that I can, and I'm going to focus that it will be done.
Yeah.
And that is where it's at.
I exactly know what you mean because when I got into whole food plant based, we had got into this like just way of diving into these 100 moms. There was an autoimmune with my husband, and I dived in 5 years back in wanting to reverse it totally with food and lifestyle. And then we got into whole food plant based. We had really gone into digging all the information we had with a mentor here, Dr. Nandita Shah, who's an international speaker, saying that you can reverse anything with any autoimmune with this whole food plant based adoption of that as a full time life. And when we did that, and I was seeing that people who are Djokovic, everybody vegan, this, that, they all can do so much. So I decided just 15, 20 days, a month, I think, before to sign up for this 10K run. And and I didn't have time, but whatever practice I could do, I did. And I was amazed that I did finish that 75% running. And I had never run, like I'm telling you, my bones are soft. I'll put that in my head, and I think I'm releasing that to my children as well.
Yes.
But and I didn't do it, and I did it. Though this diet also I'm very passionate about. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, but this lifestyle of whole food plant based. I was not breathless. My legs had never run, so they were just like jammed. But I could do it, and I know what you're talking about is an achievement because I sat and I'm just like my son was standing when I finished it on my husband's shoulder. Actually, my husband was standing with my son on his shoulder, and when I did that, I can't even tell you what I felt that you can do it, and I didn't do it again. And now, of course, I had the second one, and now I so I feel that after meeting you, I should do that again and push myself. But Francis, I think I keep roping in Francis, Debbie, all these people in the comments all the time. But I'm going to rope in Francis, you and me, to do something with running for moms. Okay, so we're going to do that together. And Francis and I'm going to follow your instructions to how to do it and lead this with this Mums in 100 and maybe come up with a challenge very soon that all moms have to
Yes.
finish 5K running
Yes.
in the next 30 days or something like that. We'll do that. We will do that. And
No.
100 moms are ending. I have to do something else now with mums because now I have mums and mums and mums coming in. So we're going to do that.
We will keep on moving forward and offering
Yes.
experiences and good challenges, because we moms, we also need to be healthy.
Yes.
We need
Yes.
to be healthy here, and we need to be healthy in our vessel, in
Yes.
our body, right? Because if we want to see our kids growing up and getting married and having their life, like, we need to be able to catch up with them, right?
Yes.
And see the
Debbie,
grandkids
sounds like
and
a
play
great
with the
awareness
grandkids.
project. Yeah, it's a great awareness project. Debbie, we should work on it. It's a beautiful thing that's coming to me. Messages come to me, clues come to me when I'm interviewing also. And that's what's coming to me.
Yeah.
We should do this for sure, and we'll see what we do, and we'll talk about it later. But now my online school has started. My kids need some breakfast. I will
Awesome.
go before I leave. What's your dream? Like, if we end with this interview and we say, Ludimila's dream, what is her dream?
One of my biggest dream, and I'm so glad that I was able to hone into it and really figure it out. I really want to see, I want to make this world a better place for us, for our kids, for their kids. I really want to see women stepping back into their power in a beautiful way. And it's not power in a sense like, oh, powerful. It's like, is that gracious power, that certainty as a woman and as a mom, that yes, we can, yes, we will, we'll remember who we are, and bring that ripple effect of goodness to everyone around us. Like, my wish is to leave every people that I come in contact with better than the way I found them.
Yeah.
With a smile, with a hug, with a word of wisdom, or just listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Beautiful.
women just need us to listen, and men too, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful. A lot of hearts for you. What a beautiful dream Francis is saying. And we've just created a dream with you, Ludmila. I'm not joking. I do live interviews and I just don't resist. I've always been spontaneous, known for my spontaneity, but I'm very serious. We are going to run. And it's going to happen soon. So we're going to do this together. Even if you're sitting everywhere in the world, Francis, be ready. Francis is going to do this, like, she's going to do. See, Talishika keep roping me. I don't know what all, but yes, we'll get Francis in as well. We're going to
Just
run
say
for
yes.
moms. We're going to run for moms, and I'm going to try and create that campaign the minute I finish the 100 moms. We're going to create that campaign soon, and we're going to run for moms, and maybe there are a lot of mothers who need help. We have somebody like Renu who helps homeless mothers. Who helps homeless mothers with direct, support financially. We can rope her in, and maybe we can do some charity through that.
Yes.
While the book is going to take some time to keep creating, 1 or 2 months for sure in the back end.
Yeah.
But meanwhile that happens, maybe we can rope in Renu and do a charity run for moms, homeless moms, and all of us run and participate. So let me work on that. Not that I have less things to do, but this is exciting.
Yeah. I'm here for you. So let me know. I think this is beautiful, and we can use that as the launch, as the launch comes closer for the book. When the book is done, we can do that to get more women together to really read the book and see the project and create awareness.
Yes, there's going to be a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every mom who's coming in is coming in for a reason, and it's a project together. We are together in it, and we all are going to contribute to bring the notice back to the mother pulse, to the fact that mothers need help and mothers do need that support and attention. And whatever we 100 moms can do to do that, either to inspire, to shine, to do work, to collaborate, to do whatever, we'll do it. And it's just exciting for me because I'm already feeling that my back is hurting before I start the race. I will do it. And Francis, I'm openly declaring you the core member of it because I have 5 parents sitting right in my window. Oh my God. I'm just speaking about words, like they distract me in the middle of my interviews. It's so beautiful. Sorry, I cannot not look at them when they're right behind my screen at the window. There are five of them sitting, looking at me like that.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and
Oh,
so anyway, let's wrap up. It's night for all of you, and we've had a beautiful morning. Catching the last few minutes here, and here we go. Watch from the beginning. Sarah is here as well. We'll open Sarah as well. Sarah is
yeah.
another yeah. Sarah, so we just spoke about wanting to run for moms. Here is Ludimila, who has inspired all of us to run and as
Yes.
moms. So we were just talking about running for moms and come up
Mhm.
with a campaign on running for moms. So and I roped in Frances as because she said I will prove myself wrong in the comments. She did a mistake by saying that, so now she's pulled it.
There you go.
I need to be part of this whole thing, and we're going to do it. Yeah, and it doesn't matter how long we run. Even if you run 100 meters, we will run.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
We can
matter.
put like 2K, 3K, 5K, whatever. We can figure it out, put a number,
Yeah,
give people time to work
yeah,
and build up to that, or just walk. You don't need to run fast. It's not about speed. It's about taking the challenge and saying yes to yourself,
yes.
saying yes to the opportunity, and create that feeling that yes, I can do it. I accomplish.
Yeah,
So
and
you,
it's a community that supports each other, understanding that it's okay. Like
yes,
create that it's okay. If Shikha can only run 100 meters, it's okay. At least run 100 meters. That's all right. So
yeah, you're at least
support you for
accept.
100.
Yeah. Do you have 2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just a story that I saw not too long ago, but it really ties to the community, about this village that all the women every morning would come down to the river to wash their clothes. And they would chant, they would sing, they would talk about their lives and everything else, and they were happy. So they would do what they had to do, and they will go back to their community and be happy. And then one day, every woman in that community bought a washing machine. So they didn't have to go and walk down to the river to gather as a community. They all had their own washing machine at home. They did their, and they started to be depressed, sad, fights, divorce, and to someone realized that what they were missing is to come together. So then they created events like we're doing here for the women to come together and share and help each other and ask for help, because you're not weak if you ask for help. You're actually freaking strong when you ask for help.
Yeah.
When you ask for help, you step out of yourself and you said, hey, I'm not a lonely wolf anymore. I need help. And it's okay to ask.
Yeah.
And creating this beautiful community in this safety and this space for us to be able to ask and be heard and get help if somebody else in the community can help with what we need, whatever. But we're creating this safe space.
Yep.
And this is why I'm so incredibly humbled and happy and honored to be here, because I truly believe
So
what you
nice.
put together is amazing.
Because I was just wondering what to do next, because this momentum has to keep going on with moms, because moms after moms after moms are being recommended to me every day in my messenger, and I'm like, what do I do after 100, and what do I do with these moms? I know what we need to do. We have a little idea, and we walk, do a slow walk, we run, whatever we do. And the story you were telling me about is it sounds like a story in India, because it's Indian women who actually go to the rivers and actually wash clothes next to the
So,
river, talk, and you will always see these village women very, they don't have dark circles in spite of having 6 children. They don't have any bad skin in spite of having all this stuff, and there's no tiredness and there's nothing, because they walk with pride. They carry on their heads water, clothes in their hands, and they carry these vessels on their head, and they
yeah,
walk with a lot of balance. Wearing saris, like I am an Indian woman, but for me to wear sari and even stay at home and not telling my children don't touch it, the sari will open, this and that. They wear saris which is 6 meter long, and they wear it and they go and they walk and they talk and laugh and they shine and they tease and they come back. So that story sounds a very Indian village story, but I'm not sure that it was from India or not. But yes, it sounds like. like a story from
Yeah, I don't know where it was from, but I remember that story, and I'm like, it's so true. Like it's a metaphor, but it's so true
yeah,
to come together and create the community. So that's why I'm so happy with that community I created before, and the work I'm doing right now with the I Am Club, Remember Who You Are, is also to do that, to create this community, to get women to remember who they are.
Yeah, and we're going to run for mums now. If it's not going to be a run, it's going to be a walk. We're going to guide. We're going to create a program.
Yes.
Probably it's going to be all mums from books, encouraging more mums, and
Yes.
we put in videos together and pour in where mums are making effort, and maybe running with their children. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
make a little video. We can create, we can compile everything, and I have an app that I use for the Nike Run Study, that we can actually record that they did their run and stuff, so we have their stuff.
We'll do that. I'm serious about it. I'm serious about it. Just give me 100, finish the peak one of 100.
Finish the book first.
3rd February it gets finished, and then I'm going to reach out to you and we're going to do that. Apart from creating the book is going to keep getting created. There are a lot of things that are planned and they're coming in the future for all the mums in the book, and all that is happening. But it's going to happen. This is done deal. I've announced it after 3rd February. Very soon we're going to make a plan, and what is going out will come out, and we take help from Francis, Debbie, maybe in the core team, Sarah, and sitting and discussing this, how to do this from us.
Awesome.
Yeah,
great. We're already there. Already happened. We're just bringing to life.
Yes. Welcome to the book, and it's an honor and it's a pleasure having you here. I'll go. I'll brush my hair. I just got up and I just stand and I'll just get ready for my children to. Now I feel very active because I don't want to tell them I'm tired. I want to just.
No, you're good.
I want to run. And I'm excited to tell this to my older ones. You know what? We're going to run for mums. Like, I just want to keep telling him things, and I'm going to be very excited that we've decided to do that, and he'll be excited. He'll be excited to do that I'll be running.
And he will be.
Yes, I will be. I will be. I know you're there. And you know that
he will be.
Yeah. Once you announce it and once you throw it out, it all happens. You just have to decide that to announce it to yourself and to the world that I'm doing it, and then it happens. It'll all happen.
Yes.
So see you. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Francis, Sarah, Debbie, and we have more people. If I have to scroll down the names.
Thank you, everybody.
There are more people. Shia is there. I do all sports with men. Bring it on, boys. And so thank you so much. And we shall do a wrap. And 93rd mom, and 94th mom, 96th mom, and 100 moms happening soon. So we'll all celebrate 3rd of February. Everyone just keep 3rd of February morning, 8 a.m. Please keep that free to celebrate the 100 moms reaching. And all the 100 moms will get an access to the Zoom link. We will, after the last interview, we will all celebrate with whatever we have in our Zoom call. So take care, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.
Just stay on. You stay on. We're going offline before I say bye.